Good morning, my name is Flight Lieutenant Vince Bartlett and I'm here with the UK Chinook Helicopter Force under Aviation Task Force 3. This morning we're going to talk about UK Chinook and why we're here operating in Estonia. Now, UK Chinook is here under Aviation Task Force 3 and that operates under a bilateral agreement signed last year to support the Estonian people and operate throughout Estonia, supporting the NATO Enhanced Forward Presence. ATF3 exists so that we can give aviation lift, so flying people, equipment and things around Estonia to support the Estonian Defence Force and the NATO Enhanced Forward Presence capability. So let's go and have a look around the aircraft and see what we can get up to. The Chinook's a big machine. Each rotor blade is about 30 foot in length. It has 6,000 kilograms of fuel, which lasts us about 5 hours. And we can fly missions by day and by night in any environment across the globe. Chinook's most at home when it's in the battlefield, operating against a near-peer threat, and we're equipped and defended so that we can do that. It's a large machine. It's born out of Vietnam in the 1960s, and it's designed for repairing in the field. We have large externally mounted engines, 5 gearboxes, and a contra-rotating blade design. This means that we can carry all of the freight through a large rear ramp, and that all of the thrust our engines generate is turned into lift, unlike helicopters with a tail rotor that you'll have seen flying around. We have dual systems, so 2 electric systems, 2 hydraulic systems, and then we have self-sealing fuel tanks and ballistic protection through the cabin so we can protect those we're flying around. If we look under the helicopter, you can see there are 3 large cargo hooks. This is a unique feature of Chinook, unlike any other helicopter. The front and rear hooks take 5,000 kilograms in weight, and the centre hook can go up to 12.7 tonnes. That means a Chinook can, in theory, lift another Chinook. The forward and aft hooks are used for lifting more complex loads, perhaps a gun and a Land Rover, or gun and ammunition, or an ISO container like you'd see on the back of articulated lorries. In short, if we can't fit stuff inside a Chinook, we'll put it underneath, and we have excellent trained teams to do so. The secret of Chinook, though, isn't the people that fly it. There's a whole team that deliver against what a Chinook needs to do. So we have excellent headquarters staff and enablers that mean the equipment's here to support the mission. And we have an outstanding team of engineers who engineer aircraft outside in environments like this by day and night to make sure the aircraft's ready to fly. So let's go and have a look inside and see what else we can do with Chinook. I'll hand you over to Sergeant Charlie, and he's going to tell you about what we get up to when we're inside. Charlie, all yours.
Hello, I'm Sergeant Harvey. I'm one of the crewmen as well. Come on side and I'll show you what's going on. So this is where the troops will all climb in. So we can do 30 troops on the sides, and we can get more troops on the floor with special seatbelts as well. So we can carry up to about 46 troops. If we're not doing troops, we can do a stretcher fit as well for medevac, and we can get 24 stretchers inside. Another role we have is a roller system, so we can do pallet loads internally, and we can roll them off the back of the aircraft whilst moving. You've seen the hooks from the outside, now you can see the hooks from the inside. So we'll be here at this position when we're about to pick up a load, be it a vehicle, ammunition, freight, or rations. We can pick up anything on a hook. We've got the 3, and we can control it with this system here, and we can release the load. At the front here, we've got the crew station. So this is where one of the other crewmen will sit, and he's got all the navigation and radio equipment he needs to help with the pilots in the front as well. We have the same navigation kit as the pilots, so we can help with navigation. We've got radios, and we can talk to troops on the ground when we're picking them up or dropping them off. We've got gun fits as well as self-protection, so we can help with troops on the ground, or if we're being fired upon, we can protect ourselves. So we'll have a minigun here that fires 3,000 rounds a minute, so that's 50 rounds a second, so it's pretty quick. We'll have another one here, and an M60 on the door. So come inside and have a look at our cockpit. Let's head back down and take some questions.
So these Chinook helicopters are going to be here until the beginning of March. We've been really enjoying operating around wider Estonia, and really the reason that we're here is so that we're training with the EDF, EDL and all of our NATO partners so that we can return if we're ever needed again. We've been gaining our skills and capability. We can operate by day and night with all of the troops. And this has allowed us to come back at short notice and integrate seamlessly into the Estonian Defence Plan. You'll see us around. Hopefully you've not been surprised by seeing us in the urban area, but also the rural areas around Estonia, landing at the sides of roads and towns working with the Estonian Defence Forces. We've really enjoyed being here, and we operate routinely by day and night, working with different troops internally, externally as we saw, and in a variety of configurations. We've landed at hospitals as part of medical plans, we've done sustainment tasks, and we've worked with various different user units who might have utility for a helicopter. Collectively, this means we can work seamlessly at night, at day, at short notice, and come back. So UK rotary assets will be coming back through Estonia in the future, and we'll be just developing our ability to work seamlessly together. So now I believe we've got some questions from you guys. So let's see what we've got. Charlie, do you want to go first?
How many days a year are the helicopter crews at home, and how many days are with the Allies? So we spend a lot of time at home training all the time and remaining current and competent, and then we'll come away for exercises that have been planned well in advance with NATO partners. We'll go to places like America to train and get things like desert ticks for when we go on operations out in the Middle East and Africa and places like that. We've come out here for 6 to 8 weeks, and we'll do some cold training, and then we'll look at other exercises like Norway, Lithuania and other cold places.
So your next question.
Who's the most important person I've flown with? I've flown various government ministers up to Prime Minister. I've flown military commanders. So yeah, all ranks from troops on the ground to the top people running the country. But important people aside, you can see the Chinook in various films. Live, Die, Repeat comes off the top of my head. And there's a good Top Gear episode where a Chinook drops off a car and chases the car, which you should definitely check out.
So the first question for me is, have you ever flown a helicopter in a war as a helicopter crew member? So war is a really big definition. So we fly on operations, and we fly all sorts of different operations, from humanitarian and peacekeeping and life-saving missions, all the way through to non-permissive operations where there is an enemy threat. When I first joined the Chinook force, I went out to Iraq three times, and we were conducting operations out there, supporting the Allied series of missions. I've then conducted some other operations around the globe, but a large proportion of my career was actually spent in Afghanistan. And Afghanistan was a demanding and challenging environment against an adversary that didn't understand our mission set and what we were trying to do in the country. So it was a real challenge, and we worked really hard to support and stabilise the country over a number of years. And that involved conducting different missions and different tasks. We've also conducted operations out in places like the Caribbean, a significantly nicer place to go and fly. But we were out there under Operation Rumen, supporting the countries with humanitarian aid after Hurricanes Irma and Maria so badly devastated the island chain. Fantastic flying and important and worthwhile task for us to do. So a lot of operations around the globe, all of which are exciting, and of course they're all different, just like flying here on Opleda. The final question is locked on the phone, which is perfect, but if I recall, it is about how dangerous missions can be. And we fly a number of missions and they all have some risk, but we manage risk, and that's something that you find in all of modern industry. So whether that's night flying, day flying, low-level flying, formation flying, they all have inherent risks, and we understand them and we mitigate them out as best we can. In terms of enemy threat, we're really well configured. So the Chinook force have invested significantly in making sure our crews and our passengers are protected so that we can achieve the mission. We aren't traditionally an offensive platform. We don't go out hunting targets, but we will defend ourselves if ever attacked. So we have ballistic protection, we have guns to defend ourselves if needed, and of course, along history, we've had to do so on a number of occasions. But inevitably, we look to avoid the threats, suppress it if needed, and then move on. So I think that's it for questions from you guys. Thanks ever so much for joining us. I hope you've learned something about the Chinook Force, why we're here in Estonia, and the activity that we've conducted under Oplader. It's been lovely to meet you, and look after yourselves, look after everybody around you, and go away and maybe do some more learning about the Estonian Defence Plan, the Estonian forces, and of course why NATO is such an important partner nation, and what the UK battle group are doing throughout Estonia. Thanks for joining us.